Welcome back, scholars. Today we're talking about types of sentences. So, if you are thinking back to types of sentences, this is mostly review. Hopefully it's things that you remember and will clarify quickly and you can move on with your work. There are 4 types of sentences. Can you say them, any of the kinds, to yourself while you are thinking about it and before I say them? They are declarative, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory. In terms of what kinds of sentences we see most often, declarative sentences are the most common. In terms of an order to look for what kind of sentence it is, I would suggest that instead of this order, we go to a different kind of order of sentence. Interrogative, exclamatory, imperative, declarative. The order really only matters in terms of it making it easier to figure out what kind of sentence you're actually looking at. Let's take a look at each kind of sentence and some examples to clarify, and then we'll move on. So an interrogative sentence is a question. If you want to think about a way to remember that, police interrogate witnesses or interrogate particularly their suspects, not necessarily witnesses. And when they interrogate, they're asking questions. So for example, when is Elisa's birthday? Who's the Prime Minister of Canada? Notice that an interrogative sentence will always end with a question mark. That makes it very easy to find. Our next kind of sentence was an exclamatory sentence. An exclamatory sentence is an exclamation. It expresses strong or sudden feeling. So you'll see that there's an exclamation mark at the end of an exclamatory sentence. There has to be an exclamation mark in order for it to be an exclamatory sentence. You scared me. That would be a strong or sudden feeling. That book is amazing. That would be a strong feeling. Just because it ends with an exclamation mark doesn't mean it has to be an exclamatory sentence, so we should double check that it actually is an exclamatory sentence and not possibly an imperative sentence. An imperative sentence gives an instruction or a command. We haven't talked about subjects and predicates yet, but an imperative sentence has an implied subject. That means it doesn't say directly who or what in the sentence is doing the action of the verb. But if I say, for example, take out your books, you know that I'm talking to you. And I don't say you take out your books. I just say take out your books and you know it's you. That's what the implied subject means. So instructions, take out your books, please stop talking, go outside now. If you want to think about imperative sentences, think about the kinds of things teachers are often saying to students because they're giving instructions, telling them what to do. Now I said, remember, sometimes ones that end with exclamation marks can be imperative sentences, not exclamatory sentences. The important thing here about this exclamation sentence is that it's an instruction. It has an implied subject. It's telling someone what to do. By the way, as a little side note, you don't have to know this for this unit, but it may be helpful, and it's a little bit of grammar nerd area. There are 3 different subjects that you can have for an for an imperative sentence. 3 different kinds of implied subjects. You can have you as a singular, you can have you as a plural, or you can have we. So if I say take out your books, that could be talking to you singular or you plural. If I say let's take out our books, that would be a we subject. So only 3 kinds of subjects for imperative sentences. You can't be talking about him or her or they because they don't know you're talking about them unless you're talking to them, which makes it a you. Our last kind of sentence is a declarative sentence. A declarative sentence makes a statement. That's not really a helpful definition, and that's why I suggested that we use the different order, which we'll take a quick look at again in a second. So sentences like, I really like grammar. You need to complete lesson 11. Those are just general statements. It can be fact, it can be opinion, that doesn't make a difference. A declarative sentence will end with a period and a period only. Remember this order again. If it ends with a question mark, we've got an interrogative sentence. If it ends with an exclamation mark, we probably have an exclamatory sentence. If it's giving an instruction, we have an imperative. Otherwise, we have a declarative sentence. That's why this order is very helpful to use when you're deciding what kind of sentence it is. So off you go to work, scholars. Let me know if you've got any questions.